At a very young age, Abimbola had sworn to herself that no man would ever have the power to destroy her the way her father did her mother. However, she found herself in the same scenario. Her mother's pain had taught her that sometimes love isn't enough in a relationship. Abimbola's mother had suffered greatly in the past. Abimbola's father abandoned them when her mother was just 8 months pregnant. No explanation, no goodbye, just gone like the wind. This was the wound that shaped Abimbola's life. Abimbola has always been laser focused, and her hard work paid off when she gained admission into the University of Lagos, where she pursued a degree in economics. All she wanted was a future of independence and success. But then she met a Judas called Femi. Femi was one of those boys who had a way with words. He was charming, with a smile that could light up a room. From the first day he saw Abimbola, he knew he wanted her. And when Femi wanted something, he would go to any length and pursue it to the moon and back. Abimbola, I can't get you out of my mind, he told her one evening after class. But Abimbola wasn't interested. Femi, I don't have time for this, she said firmly. I came to this university to study, not to chase love stories and butterflies. But Femi was relentless. He's like that stubborn fly that never leaves you alone. He would wait for Abimbola after lectures, carry her books, send her sweet messages, and bombard her with gifts. Weeks turned into months. Slowly, Femi's persistence began to chip away at Abimbola's walls. And one evening, under the mango tree near their faculty, Abimbola finally said yes. But Abimbola did not just say yes without sharing her fears. Femi, I need you to understand something, she said one night as they sat under the stars. I don't trust easily. My father left my mother when she needed him the most. That tells me that love isn't always enough sometimes. I have seen what love can do to a woman. What will happen to me if you change your mind later on? Femi held her hand tightly and looked into her eyes. Abimbola, I am not your father. I will never abandon you. You are the only woman I want, and I will love you until my last breath. Abimbola chose to believe him. For the first time, she allowed herself to dream of a future that included love. 2 years later, after graduation, life took a different turn. Abimbola was fortunate. She secured a job right after her youth service. It wasn't just any job. The pay was enviable, the position was prestigious, and the office was housed in a gleaming skyscraper in the heart of Lagos. Her mother glowed with pride. When neighbors casually asked, how is Abimbola doing? The answer was always, God has been faithful. But beneath the accolades, Abimbola felt the weight of her so called blessing. Her days were long and demanding. There were moments when she wondered if this was what she truly wanted. Femi was a different story entirely. He has been her boyfriend for over 5 years. Femi's post-graduation life has been a continuous uphill battle. He hasn't been able to secure a job since they concluded the youth service. Every morning, he ventured out into the streets of Lagos in search of job opportunities and returned every evening with his eyes dimmed with the sting of rejection. Abimbola tried to be his cheerleader. Femi, don't worry, she would say. God's timing is always perfect. Your breakthrough will come. At first, Femi nodded and smiled, grateful for her support. Thank you, Bimbo, he would reply. I don't know what I would do without you. But as the months turned into years, the gratitude in his eyes began to fade and his insecurities began to reflect. One evening, after yet another failed interview, Femi sat on the edge of his bed in the small apartment he shared with his two cousins. His hand was buried in his hands when Abimbola called. "How did it go?" she asked. Femi let out a bitter laugh. "How did you think it went?" Abimbola paused. "Femi, I know this is hard, but you can't give up. The right job is—" "Spare me the pep talk, Bimbo," Femi snapped, cutting her off. "You don't get it. You have your dream job, your fancy car, and your perfect life. How can you possibly understand what it takes to be me?" Abimbola took a deep breath, fighting the urge to retaliate. "Femi, that's not fair," she said quietly. "I have never looked down on you. I want to help, but you are pushing me away." "Help? Help me how?" Femi's voice was rising now. "By paying for my meals, my transportation, even my rent. Do you know how humiliating that is for me as a man?" Abimbola, at the brink of tears. "Femi, I don't care about those things. I only care about you. But I can't keep doing this if you continue to treat me like the enemy." Suddenly, Femi said, "Maybe you should be with someone who is on your level then. This dynamic isn't working for me anymore." Abimbola's heart sank. "Don't say that, Femi. I know you don't mean it." "I'm serious, Bimbo," Femi said sharply. "You deserve better than this. Better than me." Abimbola didn't know how to respond. She had always believed in Femi, in his potentials, but now she wondered if he believed in himself. In the weeks that followed, their relationship grew strained. Abimbola tried to maintain a cheerful front, but Femi's insecurity created an invisible wall between them. He became increasingly irritable, avoiding her calls and finding excuses not to see her. Meanwhile, Abimbola faced her own challenges at work. Her boss, Mr. Adebanjo, had begun piling more responsibilities on her, often expecting her to stay late into the night. Abimbola missed the simplicity of her university days, when life was less complicated. She also missed Femi, the version of him who believed in their dreams as much as she did. One Friday evening, Abimbola decided to visit Femi unannounced. She brought a small container of jollof rice and fried chicken, hoping to surprise him. When she knocked on the door, Femi's cousin Akin answered. Akin said, "Ha, Sister Bimbo, longest time," stepping aside to let her in. "Femi didn't tell us that you were coming." Abimbola mentioned that she wanted to surprise him, but Femi wasn't at home, and Akin looked uncomfortable, lying about his whereabouts. Abimbola waited, but as the minute turned into hours, she realized Femi wasn't coming back that night. When she called his phone, it went straight to voicemail. The following day, Femi called her back. "Sorry, I wasn't feeling up to talking." "Femi, what is going on?" Abimbola asked. "You are shutting me out, and I don't know what to do anymore." Femi sighed. "I'm trying, Bimbo. I really am. But every time I see you, I feel like a failure." Abimbola closed her eyes. "I want us to get through this together, but I can't do this alone. Femi, I need you to let me in." Begrudgingly, Femi promised to give it a shot. Months later, the drama started with little comments like, "Ha, so you are the breadwinner now, Abi?" Femi would say. "Do you think you are better than me because you have a job?" At first, Abimbola thought he was joking. She would shake her head and laugh softly, trying to lighten the mood. "Femi, I'm just trying to help you. We are a team. But Femi wouldn't laugh. His eyes were filled with resentment. Then the comments gradually became condescending, cutting through her like a razor edge. You women of nowadays, you like to act like you don't need a man, but don't ever forget that I'm still the head of this relationship. Femi began to resent her success. The man who once professed his undying love now criticized everything she did. He would call her names, question her loyalty, and accuse her of looking down on him. The mental abuse was subtle at first, but it grew day by day. Femi's word began to affect Abimbola's confidence. She began to doubt herself, to question if she was the problem. Maybe I'm too ambitious, she thought. Maybe I should stop trying too hard. Perhaps I should just quit my job. But Abimbola's mother wasn't having it. She knocked her senses back to laser focus. She asked her if Femi would ever sacrifice his future for her sake, if the roles were reversed. Abimbola doubts that. Abimbola found out she was pregnant weeks later. She was carrying Femi's child. And for a moment, she felt hopeful. She thought, maybe this will bring us closer. Perhaps it would change this time. But when she told Femi, his reaction was like a slap to the face. You can't keep this baby, Abimbola, he said coldly. Do you want to ruin my life completely? I can't even take care of myself. And you deliberately want to add a child to this mess. Abimbola was stunned. Femi, this is our child. How can you say that? I can support us till you get back on your feet. God forbid. I said I'm not ready, he shouted. You had better find a way to get rid of that thing in your stomach. And that was it for Abimbola. She checked out instantly from the relationship. For the first time, Abimbola saw Femi clearly. He is exactly like her father. She felt stupid for making the same mistake like her mother, falling in love and pouring her best into an unworthy man. She took a deep breath. I see now that it is not my job to fix you, Femi. You have to want that for yourself. But I won't let your insecurities dictate my life anymore. And I won't let you make me choose between my happiness and your pride. Femi stood frozen. He wanted to argue, to lash out, but he saw the hurt and disappointment in her eyes. Femi said, so that is it. You are just going to walk away because things got hard. Yes, Femi, I'm walking away. My love was never enough for you. It's always one thing or the other with you. I am not responsible for your unemployment, and I refused to continue to be treated like trash. I am done being your punching bag. But you can't leave me, Femi screamed. Abimbola shook her head. Watch me. I'm walking away because I deserve better. Femi, I have tried to hold on to you, to believe in the man I fell in love with. But that man is gone. I am done trying to make a man out of you. Femi stared at her. He was speechless for once. Deep down, he knew she was right, but his pride wouldn't allow him to admit it or apologize. Abimbola made a choice that day. She chose herself, and she chose an unborn child. She left Femi. Although it wasn't easy, there were nights she cried herself to sleep, reassuring herself that she made the right decision. And as her baby grew inside her, so did her strength. Abimbola channeled her energy back into her work, determined to provide a good life for her unborn child. One afternoon, her boss called her into his office and offered her a leadership position opening up in the Abuja branch. A month later, Abimbola moved to Abuja, starting a new chapter in her life. The baby, a beautiful elder girl, was born in the following month. filling her world with joy and purpose. She named her Ireoluwa, God's goodness. She vowed to raise her daughter with love, strength, and independence. As for Femi, life continued to humble him until recently he eventually got a job, but then Abimbola had moved on. The moral of the story reminds us of the importance of self-worth and the danger of losing yourself in love. Love is sweet, but sometimes love is not enough. Love should never make you doubt your value. Know when to walk away and know when to choose yourself. To all the Abimbolas out there, may you find the strength to rise above life challenges. And to the Femis of the world, may you learn that love thrives in respect and partnership, not control. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next episode. Ó dàbọ̀ o.